Hello there, Ian from RTO here, and welcome to another edition of Retro Ranking, where we look at some bands from our childhood and memories and look at their top 10 singles. So today we're going to look at a band that were a phenomenal in the mid-70s. The girls loved them. I had a cousin, she was a little bit older than me, and she was mad about this band. I mean, I think I was about 7 and she was about 9. And she loved the Bay City Rollers. So that's what we're talking about today. Bay City Rollers, Tartan, Flares. So where did they come from? Well, they were actually formed in 1964 and they were called the Ambassadors, and they were formed in Scotland, Edinburgh, by a 16-year-old Alan Muir, on acoustic guitar, his younger brother Derek, who played the drums, and their older cousin. So they did get some gigs and they desired a better name, and they settled on Rollers, but rumour has it they wanted an American sounding term in front of that. So Derek Moore threw a dart at a map of the United States, landing first on Arkansas, but that didn't meet with anyone's approval, which is understandable. Can you imagine that? Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome the Arkansas Rollers? Nah, didn't roll off the tongue. So they decided to have another throw, and it landed near Bay City, Michigan. So I said, okay, it will be called the Bay City Rollers. Up until the mid-70s, they had more changes than Spinal Tap, and then they became really famous. I'd say 74 was when they really started it. They had been called the Tartan Teen Sensations, and they say that it's one of the many acts that heralded as the biggest group since the Beatles. And we've had lots of people have come and gone in this band, but the lineup that we'll always remember will be Alan Longmuir on bass, Derek Longmuir on drums, Eric Faulkner guitars, Les McEwen on the vocals, and Stuart Woody Wood. Okay, unfortunately, Alan Longmuir passed away in 2018. And sadly, earlier this year, Les McEwen did. They're still going today. Woody's still in a band. They've got a new singer, of course, and a bassist and drummer. I mean, Derek Longmuir's got a bit of a history, but we won't talk about that. But this is the classic lineup of Bay City Rollers. At the time I thought they were a little bit irritating as a kid, but I did like some of their songs, and as I got older I sort of appreciated what their contribution to the English rock scene, music scene at the time. So I had to listen to some of their songs. I don't know what my neighbours were thinking, but there you go. And I've come up with my 10 favourite songs. I'd always got about 5 or 6 that I really did like. So let's have a look at my favourite songs by Scotland's Bay City Rollers. Okay, coming in at number 10 then. This was a song that was a single in 1976. Didn't chart in the UK, but for once the US outdid us and it got to number 54. It's a song called Yesterday's Hero. I'm actually surprised this didn't make the charts in the UK. It's not a bad little rock track. It's got that nice boogie feel that you got with the Bay City Rollers. Good guitar solo on it. Really nice song. I don't know why it didn't chart over here, but there you go. Okay, number 9. Another song from 1976. This got to number 16 in the UK, but did nothing in America. It's a Game. It's a bit disco-y. There's some nice funky guitar in this. Really, really good. Okay, next track, number 8, is a song from 1972. That's just before Les McEwen joined, I think, and it's called Manya. I'd say this is a very 60s sort of feel track, and it goes back to when they started. It's a bit quirky and a bit cheesy, but it's got a very good little melody. Okay, number 7. Going back to 1974 when it all started. This got to number 6 in the UK. Remember Sha-La-La-La. Typical sort of Bay City Roller sound this is, and it goes back to my childhood. I think that's why I like this. It's a bit cheesy, okay, a lot of these songs are cheesy, but it does bring back the 70s. You know, I was only a 7 or 8 year old at the time, you know, and I loved music. I mean, being a part of that scene in that them years is fantastic. You know, I remember all these songs. Okay, coming in at number 6 then. This is a cover they did from 1976, got to number 4 in the UK and number 12 in the USA. It's a cover of Dusty Springfield's I Only Wanna Be With You. It's a great song, I love the song anyway, and there's been some really good covers of this song, and this one isn't that bad either. It's not too bad at all. Okay, coming in at number 5, let's go to 1975. One of their number 1s, Give a Little Love. Okay, again, it's cheesy, it's sloppy, but it's my childhood. Even my mum liked this one. Yeah, I had to put it in because it is one of their classic songs, and I do remember it. Okay, number 4 then. 1976 now. Number 3 in the UK, number 9 in the US, so it was a big hit. Money Honey. Oh, this is a bit of a rocker for them. That's why I like it. It was from that mid-70s rock sound, and it was really, really good. This was towards the end of their hype and their peak, but it's still a great track. Really like that one. Okay, top 3. I think we all know where we're going with these. Okay, coming in number 3, 1975, number 1 again. Bye bye baby baby. Yeah, had to be there, didn't it? Cheesy, but it's up there for a reason, isn't it? It's got a good guitar solo in it. Yeah, remember this. Definitely was 9 when this one come out. Yeah, great stuff. Coming in at number 2 then, we go back to 1974. Summer Love Sensation, number 3. This was one of them songs. Now, if you live in the UK, you remember on Saturday nights they used to have that thing called Seaside Special type thing. All these stars used to get in a big tent and everyone would have a good time in that. Remember here, Bay City Rollers obviously being big at the time were on there, and they did this, and it's a great track. Got some great drumming in this, nice little riffs, fantastic. So, my number one. Well, if you don't know it, you know, unless you were born in the 80s, you don't know what we're talking about here. It's of course from 1974, got to number 2. Bit of shang-a-lang. Let's have a bit of a shang-lang-a-lang and do what the doobie-doo, eh? Fantastic track. Love this one. Now remember, we've in previous retro shows, remember when I was at school we had this table which had me, some friends, and now a famous actor that I never mention. We loved this one. It was sang on the table. 74 was a good year for songs, and we loved this one. Even the boys liked this one at the time, I think, because it was a great little rocker, and and when you think of it now, it's got that nice guitar riff. That great song. Still one of my favourite songs from the 70s. Yes, it is. Okay, as usual, we have got some honourable mentions for you. Them tracks that probably didn't chart, or not in this case, didn't even get released as singles. But I remember these songs purely because I had a cousin that was mad. I think my auntie was more mad than my cousin, though. Yeah. First one I'm going to mention is their very first single, Keep On Dancing. Came out in 1971. Didn't do a carrot anywhere. But it's worth a mention because it's part of their history. And no one else ever mentions it, but I do. It's alright. Okay then, the next one is a track that was on their first sort of greatest hits album called Souvenirs of Youth. And it was a track, it was not on an album, but it was on this, and it was called The Bump. This reminds me of such bands as the Glitter Band and Rubettes. Yes, them bands are getting featured on this retro ranking. See, I love it reminds me of Angel Face in places, and that's all I'll say on that one, because obviously we'll be talking about that more. It's a great track. And then the other one is off one of their studio albums called Rock and Roll Love Letter, and it's a track called Too Young to Rock and Roll. And I don't know why they didn't release this as a single. It's a great little rock track. Great guitar work on this. Les is having a real good time singing that. It's a fantastic track. Okay, that was the Bay City Rollers. I don't think I've seen anyone rank anything by the Bay City Rollers, but you have now. If anyone is mad enough to ask me to rank their albums, I will. There's a dare. Does anyone dare me to do a show on ranking their albums? Okay. I'll leave that one for you to ponder on. Okay, before we go, here we go again. He says, oh, he's plugging this thing again. Yes, he is. Christmas quiz, 23rd of December, 8:30, live stream. If you want to take part, give me an email at the email address below, and I'll send you a answer sheet, because you'll need the answer sheet, because there are 2 rounds going up the week about 5 or 6 days before to part of the quiz. And the other thing, of course, is that there is RTO merchandise on Redbubble. I'll put the details in the description, but the easiest way to get to it is going via the RTO banner, the last little icon in the right hand bottom corner. Click on that, takes you straight to the page, where you can get things like t-shirts, phone covers, duvet covers, all sorts. Okay, that's all for today. Tomorrow, Wednesday, marathon day, and we have got a viewer's request for tomorrow. We'll be doing the mighty Iron Maiden. Okay, they're not obscure, but on this channel, as you know, you ask for me to do a band and rank them, and it gets done. That's how simple it is. There's not many channels. I know of one or two that fans ask for, but as I say, this is all about you, not me. So Iron Maiden tomorrow. I might cause a few stirs there, as I usually do, but that's all tomorrow. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow, and don't forget to ask for your quiz sheets and buy some guilds from Redbubble. Bye for now.